Chapter 15. Dominic stands in front of her apartment, his hand clenched into a fist, his heart racing in his chest. The night is quiet, too quiet, and his mind is a storm of confusion, regret, and something deeper, something that he's been avoiding for too long. He can't lose her. He stands there staring at the door, feeling the weight of the moment pressing on him, suffocating him. The memory of their last conversation, the way she walked away from him, burns in his chest like a fresh wound. He didn't realize how much it hurt to see her go. He didn't understand how much she meant to him until it was almost too late. He should have done this sooner. Should have fought harder. But fear, pride, and confusion had all kept him from the truth. And now, after everything, after the kiss, the bond that snapped, and the pieces falling into place, he knows one thing for sure. Vera is the one. She's always been the one. He can't lose her. He won't. Dominic takes a deep breath, trying to steady himself. He has no plan, no idea what he's going to say when she opens the door, but he knows that he has to make things right, that he has to prove to her, prove to himself, that he's ready to fight for her, for them. He knocks. When the door opens, his breath catches in his throat. Vera stands there, her hair falling around her face, her eyes wide with surprise. But there's something else there too. Something darker, something guarded. Her arms are crossed tightly over her chest, like she's protecting herself from him. Dominic swallows hard, his heart pounding in his ears. Vera, he says, his voice rough, the words coming out in a breathless rush. I need to talk to you. She looks at him for a long moment, her eyes flickering with a mix of emotions, surprise, anger, and maybe even a little bit of hope. But then she shakes her head, stepping back slightly as if to put more distance between them. I don't think there's anything left to say, Dominic, she says softly, her voice breaking slightly. You made it clear that you didn't want me. You pushed me away when I needed you most. The words hit him like a punch to the gut, and for a moment he's speechless. He wants to explain, to tell her how wrong he was, but the guilt rises up in his throat, choking him. I was wrong, he says, his voice cracking. I didn't understand. I didn't know what I was doing. Vera's eyes flicker with disbelief, and he can see the wall she's built up around herself. You don't get it, do you? She asks quietly. I can't keep doing this, Dominic. I can't keep waiting for you to decide that you want me. You've already made your choice. Her words sting, cutting through him like a knife, but they're also the truth. He's made too many mistakes. He's pushed her too far, and now he's afraid it's too late. Vera steps back, her eyes avoiding his as she moves toward the door. But Dominic isn't going to let her walk away from him again. Not like this. He steps forward, reaching for her, his hand trembling as it brushes against her arm. Please, he whispers, his voice hoarse with the weight of everything he's feeling. I can't lose you. I don't know what's happening to me, but I know that I can't let you go. I've been blind, Vera, but now I see. She looks up at him, her eyes filled with confusion and pain. Her lips part as if she's about to say something, but nothing comes out. Her emotions are written all over her face. Frustration, anger, and something else too. It's almost as if she's afraid to hope again. Why? She asks, her voice trembling. Why should I believe you now? Why should I believe that you'll stay this time? Dominic opens his mouth to answer, but the words don't come. How can he explain something he doesn't fully understand himself? How can he make her see how much he needs her? How much he's willing to change to be better for her? I don't have the answers, Vera, he says finally, his voice breaking with emotion. But I know that I can't keep pretending this isn't real. I can't keep pretending that I don't feel this. Os. Her gaze softens just for a moment, and for the briefest second, Dominic thinks she might let him in. But then the wall goes up again, stronger than before. You've had your chance, she says quietly, her voice steady now, though her heart is clearly breaking. And I'm done waiting for you to figure it out. Before Dominic can stop her, Vera turns away, walking toward the door. His heart thunders in his chest as he watches her leave, every step she takes further from him feeling like a punch to the gut. He can't let her go. Not like this. With a desperate urgency, he steps forward and grabs her wrist, gently pulling her back toward him. Her eyes widen in surprise as she stumbles, her body pressing against his, and for a moment, everything else fades away. The anger, the confusion, the fear. It all disappears when he feels the warmth of her against him. "Please, Vera," he says, his voice low and intense. "Don't leave me. I know I've hurt you and I know I've made mistakes, but I need you. I need you to know that I'm not the same man who walked away from you." She looks up at him, her eyes searching his face, trying to find something she can believe in, but the hurt is still there, too fresh, too raw, and he can't undo the damage he's done with just words. Vera pulls away, her hands shaking as she pushes against his chest. "You don't get it," she whispers, her voice breaking. "You can't just walk back into my life and expect everything to be okay. You don't get to control this anymore, Dominic." Dominic watches her, his chest tightening as the pain in her eyes mirrors his own. He knows he's the reason she's hurting, the reason she's afraid to trust him again. But he can't let her go. Not now, not after everything they've been through. "I don't want anyone else," he says, his voice raw, desperate. "I don't care about anyone but you, Vera. And I know I've messed up, but I won't make the same mistake again. Please, please don't leave me." Her eyes flicker with uncertainty, her lips trembling as she looks at him. She's torn, caught between the desire to believe him and the reality of her own pain. "I can't do this," she whispers, stepping back, her heart breaking with each step she takes. "I can't keep holding on to something that's broken." Vera turns and walks away, her footsteps fading into the distance. Dominic stands there, frozen, unable to move. The air around him feels suffocating, as if he's been trapped in a nightmare and can't escape. He watches her go, his chest aching, his heart in pieces. He doesn't know what happened, doesn't know how he got here, but one thing is clear. She's slipping away. And this time he might not be able to stop it. Chapter 16. Dominic staggers backward, his hands gripping his head as if trying to hold his skull together. His breath comes in ragged gasps, his body trembling as the weight of the memories crashes into him like a tidal wave. It's like everything he's been trying to block out, everything he's been ignoring, suddenly burst through the surface of his consciousness. It's overwhelming. More than he can handle at once. He sees it all. Her laugh, that soft melodic sound that's haunted his dreams for weeks. But now it's real, flooding back into his mind. The first time their eyes locked, that instant when he felt a connection. Something deep inside him shifting and recognizing her as his, even though he didn't understand it yet. The scent of her skin, warm, comforting like home, and he's been running from it, running from her, trying to fight a bond he didn't even know was there. He gasps, clutching his head harder as the memories flood him, relentless and unyielding. His mind is a storm, flashes of their stolen moments, her touch, the way she made him feel alive in a way he'd never felt before. I've been such a fool," he breathes, his voice cracked with the pain of realization. And finally, for the first time, he sees it clearly. The truth. Everything clicks into place, his heart pounds in his chest as the memories rush through him, undeniable and overwhelming. His heart races as he remembers the first time he truly fell for her. It wasn't in a dramatic moment, wasn't some grand gesture. It was quiet, subtle, something that built over time. It was the way her smile made him feel like he could conquer the world, the way her eyes lit up when she talked about something she loved, and how that passion resonated within him, drawing him closer. The moment he realized she was the one he'd been searching for all his life hits him like a spark, setting him on fire. A slow, consuming burn takes root deep within him. His chest tightens as his heart beats harder, faster, desperate to make up for all the time he's wasted. Every piece of him, every part of his being, knows now. Knows that she's the one. She's the answer he's been searching for, the missing piece of himself that he didn't even know he was looking for. And he spent too long pushing her away. Too long pretending he didn't need her. "Vera," he whispers, his voice thick with emotion, his throat tight as the realization sinks deeper. He's shaking, the weight of everything crashing into him all at once. But it's not enough to stop him. He needs her. He needs to make this right. The fake mate steps forward, her expression one of concern. But it's empty, it's hollow. Dominic can't bring himself to care, not anymore. He's finally seen the truth. The fog has lifted, and in his mind there's no place for her anymore. Without thinking, he shoots his hands out, pushing her away with the force of his fury. She stumbles back, surprised, but it doesn't matter. Dominic's focus is on one thing, one person. And that's Vera. He spins on his heel, his eyes searching, and he finds her standing at the edge of the room. She's watching him, her face unreadable, but there's something else in her eyes now, something he's never seen before. Hope. And in that moment, everything else fades away. The past, the mistakes, the confusion. None of it matters now. All that matters is her. Dominic's eyes lock onto Vera's, and for the first time his gaze is clear. There's no confusion now, no uncertainty. His eyes are full of undeniable love. You, he starts, his voice thick, cracking with emotion. You're the one. His breath hitches as he steps toward her, his heart beating louder in his chest with each step he takes. You're everything. You've always been everything. Vera's eyes widen, and for the first time in so long, he sees her truly see him. It's like everything between them has shifted. Like the years of silence, the hurt, the distance. They're gone. They don't matter anymore. He reaches for her, his hand trembling as he brushes her cheek. She doesn't pull away. She doesn't move. She just looks at him, her expression softening, her lips parting slightly in a breathless gasp. Vera's breath catches, her heart racing as she stares at him, her chest tightening with emotion. For the first time in forever, she really looks at him, sees him, without the walls, without the pain clouding her vision, and the connection between them snaps back into place. It's like a force beyond their control, pulling them toward each other. She steps closer, her heart skipping a beat as the space between them closes. The distance they've been keeping, physically and emotionally, disappears. She can't fight it anymore. She wants to. She's tried to. But every part of her wants him, needs him, and the pull is undeniable. She closes the distance, her hand reaching out to touch his chest. And when she does, it's like a jolt of electricity runs through her. She feels the truth in her bones, the love that has been there all along, the bond that was never broken, just hidden from them both. And as she stands there, her heart pounding in her chest, she knows. This is it. This is where they belong. Together. Dominic leans forward, his voice a rough whisper. I've been such a fool, he murmurs, his eyes filled with regret. But the love flooding through him is stronger. It's overwhelming, all-consuming. It's everything he's been searching for, everything he's been fighting against. He reaches for her, his hand brushing against her cheek as his thumb lightly caresses her skin. I'm so sorry, Vera, he says, his voice cracking. I can't change what I did, but I can show you that I'll never make that mistake again. You're the only one for me. I've always known that, even when I didn't understand it. The weight of his regret presses down on him, but it's not enough to stop him. Not anymore. With one final breath, Dominic leans in and kisses her, his lips tender at first, then deepening with the intensity of everything he's feeling. The years of confusion, the months of uncertainty, all of it melts away in that moment, leaving nothing but love, and the truth that's been waiting for them both all along. Chapter 17. The air between them is thick with tension, heavy with words unsaid, emotions finally on the verge of spilling over. The fake mate stands before them, her posture rigid, her face pale and her hands trembling. She's been quiet for so long, watching as the truth unravelled itself in painful, jagged pieces. But now, as the weight of everything crashes down on her, she knows it's time. I did it, she whispers, her voice barely audible, but it's enough. It was me. I cast the spell. Dominic feels the world shift beneath his feet, his chest tightening with anger, confusion and a sharp, stabbing pain. All this time he's been fighting against something that wasn't real, something that was forced upon him. His heart aches as the pieces fall into place, the truth finally coming into focus. The illusion, the confusion, the feelings that seemed so genuine but never fully made sense. It was her. Her fingers twitch as she avoids Dominic's gaze, the guilt written all over her face. But it's too late for remorse, the damage has been done. Dominic's hands shake with barely contained rage as his voice rings out, raw and jagged. Why? He demands, his eyes blazing with fury. His fists clench at his sides, the pain of betrayal cutting deeper than he thought possible. Why would you do this? Why would you take that away from us? From me? His heart aches, the confusion of the past weeks finally morphing into something else. Something sharper, more painful. He thought there was something wrong with him. Thought there was something broken in him. But now he knows. It wasn't him. It was the spell, the lies, the woman standing in front of him trying to hide the truth beneath the weight of her guilt. Tears well up in her eyes, but she doesn't wipe them away. She can't hide from what she's done. I thought I was helping, she says, her voice cracking. I thought if I could just make him see me, make him love me, maybe I wouldn't be invisible to him anymore. Dominic's heart sinks at her words, but the anger still burns hotter than any regret. This wasn't love, this was manipulation. He spits, his voice thick with venom. You took something from me, from us. The fake mate's eyes meet his, her expression crumpling under the weight of her confession. I didn't know what else to do, she whispers, her voice barely above a breath. I loved you, Dominic, I always have, and I knew that you'd never see me as anything but a friend if she was in your life. If you had her, I didn't stand a chance. The words hang heavy in the air, and Dominic feels the rage burning inside him dim just a little. He's not sorry for her, he can't be, but the pain in her voice, the rawness of her confession, hits him harder than he expects. Do you even understand what you've done? He asks, his voice quieter now, a tremor of disbelief lacing his words. You took everything from us. You didn't just keep me from seeing her, you kept me from the truth. She looks down, her gaze flickering to Vera, who stands silent by his side, her expression unreadable. Her heart no doubt breaking in ways Dominic wishes he could fix. The fake mate's shoulders slump, and she steps back as if the weight of her actions is too much for her to bear. Vera flinches, her breath catching in her throat as the words hit her like a blow. The years that were lost. The time stolen from them. From her. All the moments they could have shared, all the things they could have built together gone in an instant because of a spell, because of someone else's selfish desires. Her fingers tremble at her sides and Dominic reaches for her, his hand brushing against hers as he takes a step closer. But it's not enough. Nothing feels like enough when he looks at her, when he sees the pain in her eyes that he put there. The distance between them feels infinite. I'm sorry, he whispers, his voice thick with regret. I didn't know. I never knew. Vera's gaze softens for just a moment, but it's like a crack in the dam, the flood of emotions threatening to overtake them both. She shakes her head, the pain too much to bear, but she's trying. She's trying to hold it together. We were never meant to be kept apart, she says softly, her voice breaking. But you weren't the only one who was lost, Dominic. She turns to the fake mate, her eyes filled with sorrow. You stole everything, you stole what was ours, and for what? For your own selfish need to be seen, to be loved. Dominic turns to Vera, his hand finding hers again. His heart clenches as he holds it, the weight of everything they've been through crashing down on him, but this time it feels like there's hope. It feels like the love that's been buried deep inside him is finally starting to break through, to surface. You never had me, he says, his voice steady now, stronger than before. She always did, and I should have seen that from the start. His eyes lock with hers and everything is finally clear. The fog lifts, the confusion fades, and in its place is a deep, undeniable love. For the first time he truly sees her, and nothing else matters. The fake mate steps back, her eyes glistening with the weight of her own defeat. She knows she's lost. She knows there's no place for her here anymore. Not in their world, not in Dominic's heart. Without a word, she turns and walks away, her steps echoing in the silence that fills the room. Dominic watches her go, his heart heavy with a mixture of relief and guilt. But it's over. The lies are gone. The truth is here in front of him, standing beside him. Vera watches her go too, but this time there's no bitterness in her gaze, no more hurt, just acceptance. The battle isn't over. It's never truly over. But for the first time, Vera feels like her heart, her soul, is finally in the right place with Dominic, with her. And as the door closes behind the fake mate, Dominic turns to Vera, his heart full with everything he's been too afraid to say. We're not done, are we? He asks quietly. Her eyes soften. A small smile tugging at her lips. "No," she whispers, her voice steady now. "We're just getting started." Chapter 18. Vera stands in the center of the room, her eyes burning with the pain of everything she's been holding in. The space between her and Dominic feels like an eternity, each breath she takes more difficult than the last. She wants to reach for him, wants to pull him close and tell him that everything will be okay. But the words are stuck in her throat. "You let her kiss you," she says, her voice trembling, but it's not enough to hide the hurt that laces every word. It's the rawest, most honest truth, and as it leaves her lips, it shatters something inside her. The bond they've been trying to rebuild, the one she had hoped could be salvaged, isn't as strong as she thought. Dominic stands frozen, his expression unreadable, but she sees the flicker of guilt in his eyes. Her heart aches, each beat heavy with the weight of their past, the betrayal that cuts deeper than she thought it could. Her hands ball into fists at her sides, and she feels a lump rise in her throat, but she refuses to let it break her. "I thought we were past this," she whispers, her chest aching with the unspoken pain of what they've both been through. "I thought you'd finally see me. But you let her in. And now I don't know what we're supposed to be." Dominic's face falls, his expression crumpling under the weight of her words. The guilt crashes over him like a tidal wave, and for the first time in forever, he feels like he's losing everything. Everything he never realized he wanted until it was almost too late. "I never wanted her," he whispers, his voice ragged, fragile with regret. His eyes meet hers, and there's something in them, something raw, something broken that she can't ignore. But it's too late for words. Too late for apologies that don't change the past. "I never wanted her," he repeats, his voice cracking as he steps closer, reaching for her. "I didn't understand. I thought I had to go through with it, that I had no other choice. But I was wrong, Vera. I was wrong." Vera takes a deep breath, her heart aching for him, for what he's been through, but also for what she's been through. She knows he didn't want to hurt her. She knows he didn't ask for the confusion, for the spell that tore them apart. But it doesn't change the fact that he let it happen, that he let someone else kiss him, let her in when he should have fought for her. She wraps her arms tightly around herself, trying to hold it all together, but her body trembles with the force of the emotions crashing through her. Tears brim in her eyes, and for a moment she can't hold them back. "But you let yourself believe you did," she says, her voice small, her heart breaking with each word. "You let yourself fall into her spell. You let yourself believe she was your mate, that she was the one, even when you knew it wasn't right." The tears fall now, her face flushed with the effort to control her emotions, but it's no use. The pain, the anger, the heartbreak, it's too much to carry on her own anymore. It feels like she's drowning, like everything she's tried to build with him is slipping through her fingers. "I can't fix this for you, Dominic," she whispers, the words coming out like a prayer. "I can't fix what you've broken. I can't keep pretending everything's going to be okay." Dominic's breath hitches as he steps toward her, his hands trembling as he reaches for her, his desperation palpable. His body is shaking, like it's the only thing holding him together. "Tell me how to fix this," he pleads, his voice breaking, cracking with the raw need to make everything right. "Please tell me what I can do. I can't lose you. I don't know how to live with myself after what I've done." He wants to reach out, to hold her, to make her see that he's sorry, that he loves her. But the distance between them feels insurmountable now, and he can see it in her eyes. The walls are up, she's pushing him away, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. "Vera, please," he begs, his voice breaking under the weight of his own guilt. "I don't know what else to do." The silence stretches between them, thick and suffocating. Vera doesn't move, doesn't say anything, and Dominic's heart sinks deeper with every second that passes. She's not ready to forgive him. She's not ready to let him back in, and he understands why. After everything he's done, after how he's failed her time and time again, he doesn't deserve her forgiveness, but he wants it, he wants her. His hands drop to his sides and he takes a step back, his heart breaking with every inch of distance. "I'll give you space," he says, his voice hollow, like the words are being ripped from his chest. Just let me fix it," he adds quietly, barely audible. Please. But she doesn't respond. She doesn't look at him. And with each second that passes, it becomes more and more clear to him that it's over. She's done. And he's the reason why. Vera watches him walk away, each step feeling like a punch to her chest. Her heart screams for him to turn back, to fight for her to stay. But he doesn't. He's leaving. And with each step he takes, the space between them grows, stretching further than she ever imagined possible. She's left standing there, numb, her heart aching in the wake of the silence that now fills the room. She wanted to believe they could make it, that somehow they could find their way back to each other. But the truth is, he let her go first. He let her slip through his fingers. And now there's nothing left but the emptiness between them. Her heart breaks all over again as she watches him leave. But there's something else now. Something deep inside her that tells her maybe it's time to let go too. Maybe it's time to stop fighting for something that was never going to work. But that doesn't make the ache any easier to bear. As Dominic disappears into the night, Vera is left with only one thought. This was the moment that could have been. And now, it's gone. Chapter 19. Dominic wakes up in a cold, empty bed. The first thing he notices is the silence, stifling and heavy. Like the world outside has muted itself just for him. His hand reaches out instinctively, searching for the warmth that should be there, but it's gone. It's always been gone since that moment, since she left. He feels the void settle around him, settling deeper into his bones. The place beside him is untouched, as if she never existed there at all. And yet, her absence clings to him, suffocating, a constant reminder of the love he let slip through his fingers. He lies there, staring up at the ceiling, haunted by the memory of her, of the way she looked at him when she walked away, the way she left him standing there alone. He should have fought harder. He should have done something, anything to stop it from happening, but he didn't. He let her go. And now, he's paying for it. His breath catches in his throat as the realization sinks in. She's gone. The thought alone makes his heart ache in ways he never imagined possible, and he's the reason she's gone. Vera throws herself into work. It's the only way she knows how to escape the constant ache in her chest, the constant pull toward him that refuses to let her go. She fills her days with meetings, tasks, anything to keep her mind occupied, but the weight of her emotions never fades. Her wolf, his wolf, cries out to her, pulling her toward him even though she knows she can't go back. Her heart aches with every beat, but she refuses to listen. She can't go back to him, not after everything, not after the betrayal. But no matter how hard she tries, she can't stop thinking about him. She can't escape the memory of his touch, the way he made her feel like she was the only one in the world. She can't forget the bond they share, the connection that runs deeper than anything she's ever known. It's relentless, the ache, the longing, the desire. She can't outrun it. She's stuck, and she doesn't know how to let go. Dominic watches her from across the room, his chest tight with the weight of his own regrets. She's sitting at a small table in a cafe laughing with friends, her eyes bright with something he hasn't seen in a long time. Happiness. The sight of her so carefree, so alive without him, stabs at his heart. It eats away at him, gnawing at his insides with the realization that he's the one who pushed her away. The guilt is unbearable. He can't stand the thought of her moving on, of her being happy without him. He wonders if she's really happy, or if it's just a mask she's wearing to keep herself from falling apart. But even that thought doesn't bring him comfort. The truth is, it doesn't matter, he messed up. And now all he can do is watch her slip further away from him. Her laughter is like a knife to his chest, but he can't tear his eyes away from her. Every part of him longs to go to her, to make it right, to beg her to take him back. But he knows it's too late. She's already gone. Vera feels it before she sees him. The familiar pressure on her chest, the tightness in her throat, the sensation that something is pulling at her, drawing her attention to the back of the room. When she looks up, her eyes lock with his across the crowded cafe, and for a moment, the world falls away. It's just the two of them standing there in the midst of everything, and yet nothing else matters. Her breath catches in her throat, and the longing rises inside her like a tidal wave. She can feel the pull toward him, the bond that's still there, still so strong, even though she's tried so hard to bury it. He looks at her like he's starving, like she's the only thing that matters, and for a split second, it feels like nothing has changed. It feels like they're still the same, like the distance between them is just an illusion. But then reality crashes back in, and the weight of everything they've been through crashes over her. The hurt, the betrayal, the pain. She blinks, tearing her eyes away from him, but she can still feel him, his presence, his gaze, his heart, lingering on her, waiting for her to look back. But she doesn't. Not yet. Vera's best friend leans in, her voice low but urgent. If you keep pretending you don't love him, it'll destroy you both. Vera's breath catches at the words, and for a moment she feels the weight of her friend's gaze, the truth in her words. She's tried to ignore it, tried to bury the feelings deep inside her, but it's not enough. The truth is staring her in the face and she can't run from it anymore. I don't know if I can go back to him, Vera whispers, her voice small and uncertain. He hurt me. I can't just forget that. Her friend nods, understanding in her eyes. I get it. I do. But you've been running from this, running from him for so long. You can't keep pretending it doesn't matter. It does, he matters. Vera shakes her head, but the truth settles in her heart. She does love him. She always has. And no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much she wants to protect herself, she can't fight the pull forever. That night, Vera dreams of him. She dreams of the kiss, the way his lips felt against hers, soft and warm, filled with everything they'd been too afraid to say. She dreams of the bond, of the connection that still ties them together, even though she's tried so hard to break free from it. She wakes up with a start, her heart pounding, her breath shallow, as if the dream was real, as if he's still there beside her, pulling her toward him. The ache in her chest is unbearable, the longing so intense that it feels like a physical pain. She lies there, staring up at the ceiling, the weight of everything crashing down on her. The truth is undeniable now. She loves him, and no matter how hard she tries, she can't stop. But can she forgive him? Can she trust him again? The questions swirl in her mind, but the ache doesn't go away, and it never will. Chapter 20. Dominic stands in front of Vera's door, the bouquet of flowers trembling slightly in his hands. His heart races with every passing second, the thundering beat a reminder of everything he's lost and everything he's fighting to get back. He's here, standing at the threshold of her world. And yet, he's terrified. Terrified that she won't open the door, terrified that she won't let him back in. He's been thinking about this moment for days, maybe weeks, the thought of coming to her, apologizing, laying his heart bare. But the closer he gets, the more the doubt creeps in. Will she forgive him? Is there even a chance for them after everything he's done? He takes a deep breath, trying to steady himself, but the tremble in his hands betrays him. He wishes he could go back, wishes he could change everything. But he can't. All he has now is this moment, this chance to make it right, to prove to her that he's not going anywhere. He knocks softly, the sound almost drowned out by the rush of blood in his ears. His stomach churns as he waits, the silence on the other side of the door heavier than he expected. Dominic stands before Vera's best friend, his voice raw with emotion as he speaks. She won't listen to me, he says, his eyes pleading. What do I do? I can't lose her. I've already lost so much. But I need her to know. I'm not giving up. I can't give up on us. Her best friend sighs, her gaze shifting uneasily. She's been caught in the middle of their drama, and while she's sympathetic to Dominic's pain, she's also protective of Vera. But even she can see how desperate he is, how much he's truly suffering. She's scared, the best friend says quietly, her tone soft but firm. Scared of getting hurt again, and I can't say I blame her. But Dominic, you've got to show her you're not going anywhere. You've got to be willing to prove it to her, even if it takes time. Dominic nods, the words sinking into him like a heavy weight. He knows she's right, knows that he can't just expect Vera to welcome him back with open arms after everything that's happened. But he has to try. He has to. I'll do anything, he whispers, his voice thick with the desperation that's been gnawing at him. I'll show her that I'm here, that I'm all in. The best friend looks at him for a long moment before giving a small, reluctant nod. Then go. But be patient. It won't be easy. But she needs to see it from you. She needs to feel it. Vera can't help but feel a stab of something, jealousy, when she sees Dominic at a cafe with another woman. She tells herself it's nothing, that it doesn't matter, but the tightness in her chest tells a different story. The woman's laughing at something Dominic said, her hand resting casually on his arm, and it makes Vera's insides twist in a way she doesn't want to acknowledge. Why does it hurt so much? Why does it feel like a punch to her stomach? She told herself she was moving on, that she was done with him, that she couldn't keep holding on to something that wasn't there. But seeing him with someone else, seeing him like this, breaks her all over again. She looks away, her fingers gripping the side of her cup tightly as she tries to ignore the ache gnawing at her. She doesn't want to feel this. She shouldn't feel this. But she can't stop it. Why is it so hard to let go? The woman laughs again, leaning into Dominic, and Vera's heart tightens painfully in her chest. Her wolf roars inside her, the desire to run to him, to claim him, overwhelming. But she doesn't. She can't. Dominic stands up abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor with a harsh sound. His eyes are dark with anger and confusion as he looks at the woman across from him. But it's not her that he's angry with. It's himself and the gnawing, painful truth that he's never wanted her. Never thought of her like that. But he's been stuck pretending that he could move on, pretending that he didn't still care about Vera. I can't do this, he says, his voice thick with frustration as he turns to walk away, the bouquet of flowers still clenched in his hand. He doesn't know why he even thought this would help, why he thought spending time with someone else would fix what's broken inside him. It's Vera. It's always been Vera. He can't pretend anymore. Not when every part of him is screaming for her, longing for her, needing her like air. Without another word, he walks out of the cafe, leaving the woman behind, the weight of his regret pressing down on him with every step he takes. Vera watches him go, the air in the cafe feeling too thick, too heavy for her to breathe. Her wolf is howling inside her, the pain in her chest impossible to ignore now. The longing, the need to be near him, is unbearable. She watches him walk away, her heart aching with each step he takes. It's like a magnet pulling her to him, drawing her closer despite the walls she's tried so hard to build. But she doesn't go. She doesn't follow him. She can't. Her heart is torn. Part of her wants to run to him, to hold him, to take him back, but another part, the part that's been broken so many times, wants to stay away, wants to protect herself from the hurt she's afraid is still there. It's too much for her heart to handle. That night, Vera lies awake in bed, staring at the ceiling as her mind races. Her heart pounds with the memories of him, of everything they've shared. She dreams of him, of the kiss, of the bond that still pulls her toward him, no matter how much she tries to ignore it. The feeling of his lips on hers, the way he holds her, makes her heart ache even more than it already does. She wakes up, her body covered in sweat, her breath coming in short gasps as the reality of the dream hits her like a cold wave. She wants to go to him, wants to believe that everything can be fixed. But the ache inside her is too much to bear. The longing, the desire, the confusion, all of it mixes together in a storm that leaves her unable to make sense of anything. Her heart is broken, but it still belongs to him, and she doesn't know what to do with it anymore. Chapter 21. Vera stands frozen in front of the door, her hand gripping the doorknob, heart hammering in her chest. She's been holding herself together for so long, trying to ignore the ache in her heart, trying to convince herself that she's better off without Dominic. But when she hears the knock, when she feels the weight of his presence on the other side of that door, she knows she can't keep running anymore. She opens the door and there he is. Dominic stands in front of her, drenched to the bone, the rain still falling in sheets around him. His clothes cling to his body, his hair plastered to his forehead, but it's the look in his eyes that hits her the hardest. There's something in his gaze, something raw, something desperate, that makes her heart skip a beat. She doesn't say anything at first, she can't. She's overwhelmed by the sight of him, by the way he's standing there, as if he's finally realized what he should have known all along. He takes a tentative step forward, his eyes never leaving hers, And then, in a voice that cracks with emotion, he says the words she's been longing to hear. I need to be with you, Vera. Please, just let me in. And despite the walls she's spent so long building, despite the fear of being hurt again, Vera steps aside, her voice barely a whisper as she lets him in. Dominic doesn't wait for an invitation. As soon as the door closes behind him, he drops to his knees, the weight of everything he's done, everything he's felt, crashing down on him all at once. His body shakes with the intensity of it, and he looks up at her, his eyes full of regret and pain. I was blind, he whispers, his voice thick with raw emotion. I was stupid. But I see you now, Vera. I see you for the first time. I see everything. I see us. He swallows hard, his throat constricting as he struggles to find the words that will make this right, that will show her how much he loves her. And I love you. I've always loved you. And I'm sorry. I've never been more sorry in my entire life. Vera feels her chest tighten at the depth of his words, the pain and sincerity in his voice. She wants to stay angry. She wants to hold on to her hurt, her pride, but the walls she's built around herself are starting to crumble. The truth is, she's never stopped loving him either. She takes a step toward him, her heart pounding, her breath shallow as she watches him kneel there, waiting for her to speak, to say something. Vera's defenses finally begin to crumble. Her hands tremble as she reaches out, her fingers brushing against his face, tracing the sharp line of his jaw. She's terrified of letting him back in, terrified of opening herself up to the possibility of more hurt. But there's something in him, something in the way he's looking at her, that tells her he's not going anywhere, that he means it this time. I love you too, she whispers, her voice catching in her throat. It's almost as if saying the words makes everything real. It feels like a weight being lifted, but it also feels like they're both standing on the edge of something monumental, something that could either heal them or break them completely. Dominic's eyes soften, and for a moment, the world outside doesn't matter. There's only the two of them, the pain, the distance, the hurt. It doesn't vanish, but it starts to fade into the background, swallowed up by the love they've always shared. Dominic reaches up, his hands shaking as he touches her face, his thumb gently brushing the tears that have fallen down her cheeks. And then, without warning, he pulls her into him, his lips crashing against hers in a kiss that is both soft and desperate. It's like everything between them, everything they've been through, every ounce of pain and confusion, finally comes to a head in that one kiss. The kiss is hungry, all-consuming, but it's also filled with a tenderness that only the two of them could understand. Vera responds instantly, her hands finding their way to his chest, pulling him closer, needing to feel him, needing to feel whole again. Every kiss, every touch ignites a fire inside her, a fire that burns away the distance between them, that clears the path to everything they've been avoiding. They kiss each other as if this might be their last chance, as if the entire world could collapse around them and it wouldn't matter, as long as they had each other. They pull away for a moment, breathless, both of them gasping for air as they hold each other close. Dominic buries his face in her hair, his arms wrapped tightly around her, as if he's afraid she might disappear if he lets go. I'm not going anywhere, he whispers, his voice thick with emotion. I swear to you, Vera, I'm not leaving, not again. She tightens her hold on him, her chest pressed against his, feeling the steady beat of his heart beneath her fingertips. It's the first time in a long time that she feels safe, that she feels like she's exactly where she belongs. I don't want to fight anymore, she whispers, her voice muffled against his shoulder. I don't want to fight for us. I want to be with you, Dominic. I want to be happy. I promise, he says softly, his hands gently caressing her back. I'll make it right. I'll spend every day proving to you that I'm not going anywhere. They stay like that for a while, holding each other close, the world outside fading away as their hearts finally begin to sink, beating together in a rhythm that feels natural, that feels like home. And then, without saying a word, they kiss again. This time it's slower, deeper, full of everything they've been through, full of everything they've learned. The weight of the past is still there, heavy in their chests, but it doesn't define them anymore. The love they share is what matters now. The kiss is everything. It's the culmination of their pain, their regret, their love. It's a promise and a renewal. It's a moment that marks the end of the hurt and the beginning of something new. Something that will take time to build, but will be worth every second. As they break apart, Dominic rests his forehead against hers, his breath shaky but full of certainty. "We're going to be okay, Vera," he murmurs. "I promise." She smiles, her heart finally at peace, knowing that the love they share is real. And no matter what comes next, they'll face it together. Dominic leads Vera up to a secluded rooftop, the city sprawling beneath them like a glittering ocean of lights. The noise of the world feels distant here, muted by the height and the silence of the night. Above them, the stars are scattered across the sky like diamonds, a perfect backdrop for the moment that has been years in the making. Dominic's heart pounds in his chest. But it's not from the climb or the excitement of being this close to her. It's from the weight of what he's about to do. He's standing at the edge of everything, ready to prove that this bond, this connection they've fought for, is more than just a promise. It's a forever. He turns to face her, his eyes soft but filled with determination. This moment is theirs. The world can wait. "Vera," he says, his voice thick with emotion, his gaze unwavering. "This is it. This is our bond, our forever. And it starts right here, right now." He takes a deep breath, his fingers reaching to the collar of his shirt, and slowly, deliberately, he pulls it down, exposing the bare skin of his neck to her. His gaze doesn't waver as he kneels before her, the action not only one of humility, but of absolute trust. This is everything. He is giving her the power to claim him, to mark him as hers. His voice is raw as he whispers, "Mark me, I am yours, Vera, now and always." Vera's breath catches in her throat as she looks at him, her eyes tracing the exposed skin of his neck. She's never seen him like this, vulnerable, open, laying himself bare before her in a way that takes her breath away. She hesitates for a moment, the weight of the decision heavy on her heart. This is more than just a mark. This is a commitment, a forever. It's the moment that will bind them together in ways neither of them can fully understand, but both of them feel deep down in their bones. Dominic's gaze never leaves hers, his eyes pleading, not with desperation, but with an unwavering love that makes her heart ache. She knows this is it. This is their moment. She steps forward, her fingers trembling slightly as she reaches out to touch his neck. There's something sacred about this act, something ancient, something that speaks to the very essence of what they are. Her fingers brush his skin, sending a jolt of electricity through both of them. She presses her lips softly to the spot on his neck where the mark will be made, her heart racing with the intensity of the moment. Then, with all the love and tenderness she feels for him, she gently bites into his skin, marking him as hers. She feels the connection deepen, feels the bond solidify between them as she completes the ritual. The world around them seems to pause for a breath, as if holding its collective one in reverence for what's just transpired. Dominic's breath catches as the mark is made. He can feel it, their bond, the energy that pulses through his body, the warmth that radiates from the place where her lips met his skin. But it's not just a physical sensation. It's deeper than that. It's a part of him now, a part of his soul, forever tied to hers. As she pulls away, he reaches up to touch the mark she's left, his fingers tracing the spot where their bond has been sealed. His eyes meet hers, filled with the deepest love and gratitude. "It's real," he whispers, his voice hushed, almost in awe. "We're real." Her smile is soft, but it holds the weight of everything they've been through, everything they've fought for. She knows. She feels it too. Dominic takes a step closer to her, his heart pounding with an intensity he can't fully explain. He takes her hand in his touch tender but possessive, as if claiming her in every way, as if this moment is about more than just marking each other. It's about him finally claiming the woman he's loved, the woman who's been his all along. He pulls her toward him gently, and this time it's his turn. He lowers his lips to her neck, the spot just below her ear where he knows he will make his mark. She gasps at the contact. But this time, there's no hesitation. She welcomes him, welcomes the bond that's finally becoming real. Dominic bites into her skin, marking her as his touch possessive yet tender. There's nothing forceful about it. It's a declaration of love, a promise that no matter what comes next, they are bound, together. As the marks are made, their bond solidifies between them. A glowing golden light surrounds them, wrapping around their bodies like a cocoon, a symbol of the connection that's finally been sealed. The glow brightens for a moment before slowly fading, but the warmth it leaves behind lingers. Dominic and Vera stand there in the quiet of the rooftop, feeling the full weight of what's just transpired, the weight of the promise they've made to each other. Their hearts are finally synced, beating as one. Their souls intertwined in a way they never could have imagined. They hold each other close, both of them feeling the warmth of the bond, the security of knowing they will never be apart again. Always, Dominic whispers, his lips brushing against her ear. I'll always be here. Vera smiles, her heart finally at peace, knowing that she's found her forever. Dominic pulls back just enough to look into her eyes, his fingers gently brushing her cheek. The air between them is charged, heavy with everything they've just experienced. The world around them seems to disappear, and for the first time in forever, there's nothing but the two of them. They kiss again, this time slow and deep, a kiss that seals everything they've been through, everything they will be, every bit of pain, every ounce of joy, every tear. It's all here in this one perfect moment. Their kiss is everything. It's the past, the present, and the future. It's every moment they've shared, every moment they will share. It's their bond. Unbreakable, undeniable. And finally, irrevocably real. When they pull apart breathless, they both know, this is it, this is home. Chapter 23. A love that finally feels right. Morning light spills gently across the bed, casting soft golden hues over the room. Vera stirs, her lashes fluttering as the warmth of the day filters through the window. She wakes up nestled in Dominic's arms, the steady beat of his heart beneath her cheek a comforting reminder that they're finally where they belong. The world outside feels distant, muted by the peaceful serenity that fills the room. She lifts her head slightly, her heart fluttering as she gazes at him. He's still asleep, his features relaxed, his breathing deep and even. His face is softer in the morning light, his jaw slightly scruffy, the morning stubble reminding her of everything that's familiar about him. She never thought she'd find peace in the mornings. She'd always been a night person, a lone wanderer in her own world. But now everything feels different. Good morning, Dominic whispers, his voice husky with sleep, the sound rich and soothing. Vera smiles, her heart swelling as she presses a soft kiss against his chest. I never thought mornings could feel this perfect. Her voice is barely above a whisper, but he hears it, his arm tightening around her as he pulls her closer. She can feel the smile in his voice as he speaks again. I could get used to this. Her heart flutters, and she realizes she's found exactly what she's been looking for, even if she didn't know it at first. In his arms, mornings don't feel like an obligation to face the world. They feel like a gift. Their life together has become a dance of small moments, the quiet rhythms of two worlds finally blending into one. Vera looks around the penthouse, noting how different it feels now. The space, once so cold and impersonal, is slowly becoming theirs. She notices her books scattered across the coffee table, a soft throw blanket draped across the couch in a way that makes the room feel lived in. A picture frame with a photograph of them at the park sits on the mantel, another testament to how their lives are coming together in ways they never expected. Vera's voice is light, but holds the weight of something real when she says, I think I like it here. Dominic turns to look at her, his eyes warm and filled with affection. A grin spreads across his face as he crosses the room toward her. You better, he teases. You're not leaving. His words, casual yet filled with a promise, make her smile. She can't help but laugh, the joy of finally feeling like she belongs here, with him, warming her heart in ways she didn't know she needed. Vera catches him staring at her from across the room. The gaze isn't just filled with love. It's something more. It's quiet devotion. His eyes follow her every movement with a tenderness she can't quite describe. You're staring, she teases, her voice light, but her heart racing with the intensity of the moment. Dominic chuckles, a playful glint in his eyes. No, I'm not, he says, then adds with a wink. Well, maybe just a little. He walks over to her, closing the space between them in seconds. His hands come to rest on her waist, his arms pulling her closer. "I can't help it, you're mesmerizing," he murmurs, his voice thick with adoration. Vera's breath catches in her chest, her heart pounding faster at the closeness between them. She leans into him, feeling the warmth of his embrace as if she could melt into him entirely. It's moments like this, small and simple, that make her realize that they were always meant to be. This is what they both needed, this tenderness, this trust, this connection. It's the little things that make her heart skip a beat now. Small gestures, big love. Vera finds notes from Dominic everywhere, on the fridge, tucked into the pockets of her coat, on the bathroom mirror, written in lipstick. A message that makes her smile every time she reads it. "You're beautiful when you're mad." She laughs softly as she remembers their latest argument, a silly spat over dinner that ended in laughter and kisses. "Your scent lingers when you leave, and I hate it when you go." Her cheeks flush as she reads it, her heart skipping a beat at the sweetness of the sentiment. She pretends she doesn't blush, but she can't hide the smile tugging at the corners of her lips. Dominic has a way of making her feel loved in the simplest, most unexpected ways, and no matter what, she can't help but feel that their love is exactly what she's always wanted, exactly what she needed. Their love is no longer hidden, no longer something to be whispered about in the corners of their lives. Today, they take their first public stroll together as an official couple. Hand in hand, they walk through the city, the weight of their connection clear to anyone who might be watching. The pack has been watching, their whispers and glances following them, but neither of them cares. Dominic pulls her closer, his arm wrapped tightly around her waist as if he's staking his claim in the most beautiful, confident way possible. "I'm never letting you go," he murmurs into her ear, kissing her temple as they walk, his lips lingering for a moment before he pulls away just enough to meet her gaze. Vera looks up at him, her heart flooding with love and joy. She smiles, her eyes shining with unspoken happiness. "I'm right where I belong," she whispers. "With you." That night they find themselves back on the rooftop, the city lights twinkling below them, the world seeming so far away. The noise of the city, the distractions, everything else, they all fade away as they sit together, wrapped in each other's arms, the cool breeze gently blowing around them. Vera feels a peace settle in her soul, a peace she's never known before. She rests her head on Dominic's shoulder, her heart finally at ease. Dominic traces the mark on her neck softly, his fingers grazing her skin. His voice is barely a whisper, but it carries the weight of everything they've been through. "I never want you to doubt me again," he says. Vera looks up at him, her heart full, her smile soft. "I won't," she replies, her voice steady, her trust in him finally unshakable. "I trust you now, with everything." They sit in silence, the quiet of the night surrounding them as the city hums softly below. In this moment, nothing else matters. They have each other, and that's enough. Chapter 24. Lazy mornings together become their new routine, slow, unrushed, filled with laughter and the comfort of each other's presence. Vera can't help but laugh as Dominic pulls her back into bed, refusing to let her get up for anything. He's determined to hold on to this moment, to keep her close, to enjoy the peace they've built in their small, shared space. "You have a meeting," she reminds him, her voice still thick with sleep, but her eyes bright and playful. Dominic simply grins, pulling her closer against his chest, burying his face in her hair. "Cancel it." His lips brush along her shoulder, sending a shiver down her spine, his voice rough with desire. "I want you here, with me." Vera laughs, shaking her head, but her heart flutters in her chest at the way he makes her feel. "You're impossible," she teases, unable to hide the smile that spreads across her face. His arms tighten around her, pulling her even closer, the warmth of his body sinking into hers. "I love you," he whispers, the words settling into her soul like a promise, like an unbreakable bond. Vera sighs contentedly, knowing this is everything she's ever wanted. These quiet mornings, wrapped up in his arms, feel like home, and she realizes for the first time that she's the one he's never going to let go of. Over lunch, Vera's best friend can't help but tease her mercilessly. They sit at a cafe, the soft sunlight pouring through the windows, but it's Vera's radiant smile that catches her friend's attention. "You're glowing," her best friend says with a raised eyebrow, clearly amused. "It's disgusting," Vera smirks, sipping her drink. Jealous? Her best friend huffs in mock annoyance. No. Okay, maybe. She pauses, looking at Vera closely. It's just you found it, haven't you? Vera's smile softens as she nods, the weight of the love she's found settling over her like a warm blanket. It's real, she says softly, her voice thick with the truth. It's everything. Her friend looks at her for a moment, a knowing smile forming on her lips. I'm happy for you, Vera. You deserve it. Vera nods, feeling the depth of her friend's words. She knows that nothing in her life has ever felt this right, this real. Dominic is the one she's been waiting for and nothing else matters. Later that day, Dominic surprises Vera with a small golden key, his eyes glimmering with something unspoken. She takes it from him, confused but intrigued. What's this? She asks, her fingers tracing the edges of the key, its weight heavy in her palm. Dominic's smile is full of meaning, his voice low as he says, Your key to our home. Vera blinks, the word hanging in the air between them like a promise. Our? She asks, her heart racing as she looks up at him, searching his eyes for confirmation. Dominic gently tilts her chin up, his gaze unwavering, full of love and purpose. Ours, he repeats, his voice soft but firm, filled with everything he's feeling. Vera's breath catches in her chest as she realizes the depth of their connection, the weight of the moment and the fact that this is real. This is her life now, with him. Her hands tremble slightly as she slips the key into her pocket, the significance of it not lost on her. It's more than just a key. It's the key to everything. Their future, their forever. Moving in together is chaos. It's fun and messy and everything they've ever wanted. Plates are put in the wrong cabinets. Shoes are scattered across the floor and there are clothes everywhere. But there's a magic to it. It's a sign of something new, something they're building together. Vera laughs as Dominic tries to rearrange their kitchen, his hands fumbling as he tries to make it perfect. But it's their kind of perfect. And that's all that matters. That night, as they fall into bed together, tired from the day but content in ways they've never been before, Vera knows this is where she belongs, in his arms, in their home. I'm never letting you go, Dominic whispers into her hair, his voice thick with emotion. Vera smiles, her heart full. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, she replies, her voice full of certainty. This is where she's meant to be, with him, always. One night as they lie in bed, tangled in each other, Dominic's voice is softer than it's ever been. The world outside doesn't matter anymore. It's just the two of them, sharing this intimate moment. I thought I knew what love was, he says, his voice heavy with emotion, the words coming from a deep place inside him. But you've undone me. Vera's heart swells, her chest tight with the weight of his confession. She smiles, brushing a lock of hair from his forehead, her fingers tracing the line of his jaw. You deserve to be undone, she whispers, her voice soft, full of love. And I'm glad it was me. They lie there for a while, the night stretching out before them. There's no need for words. They both know this is where they were always meant to end up, in each other's arms where they belong. Under the full moon, the pack gathers to celebrate. The night is crisp and clear, the stars shining above them, a sea of faces looking up in reverence as Dominic stands beside Vera. His arm is wrapped around her, holding her close, but there's no longer any concern about his position as alpha. There's only her, only the love they share. Vera feels the quiet strength of the bond between them, the way the world feels still when they're together. The noise of the pack fades into the background, and all that matters is Dominic and the future they're building. You were always meant to be mine, he whispers into her ear, his voice full of pride and certainty. Vera leans into him, her heart full of everything she's ever wanted. And you were always meant to be mine, she replies softly, the weight of the moment settling into her bones. They stand there together, the world quiet around them, knowing that this is their forever, their love, their home.